Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Lyndon Arthur squeaks past Liam Cameron on a split decision. One of the cards was too wide, 97-91. Both guys had points taken off for a couple of infringements. But, before this fight, I looked at Cameron and I thought, this is a real opportunity. He can win this fight. And he fought his heart out. He really did. And if it had gone to Cameron, I don't really think Lyndon Arthur's team could have complained too much. I thought he just about won. I had it 90, 95, 93, 6 rounds to 4. But there's no doubt that, Lyndon Arthur fought in Riyadh on that Christmas bill, got widely outpointed. I think he lost every single round on every card against Dimitri Bivol. But suddenly he's finding himself, 6 months later fighting in Bolton. I thought the come down, coupled with the fact that Cameron, has been on the comeback trail. He's fought at higher weights before. He came in with 23 wins with 10 KOs, 5 defeats, all on points. So he's durable. And he's fought as high as, I think, about 190 for one of his fights. I looked at BoxRec beforehand and I was looking at the weights, and he's fought at super middleweight. He's fought down at middleweight, but he's also fought up at light heavyweight. So he he does have this weight thing where he put on a ton of weight and he took it off, took a few stone off. And he's got defeats to people like Luke Blackledge, Zach Dunn, 12-round unanimous decisions. And so he can do 12 rounds. This was a 10-rounder. But it was this wasn't a classic fight, but it was gruelling. I thought that Arthur won it on weight of punch. Very accurate jab as well. But as with Lyndon Arthur, in the past, he just doesn't fire enough punches. He's not busy enough. And he almost came a cropper here against Cameron. To start with, in the first round, Arthur was banging that jab in really well, looking really good. Nothing fancy at all about the way he boxes. It's very sort of meat and potatoes. But Cameron was hanging in there, more than hanging in there. Cameron was trying to jab with him. You jab with the jabber. In the second round, right at the end of the round, actually, there was a punch after the bell, which was really, considerably after the bell, couple of seconds. And Cameron sort of turns to the referee and say, "What was that all about?" And then he fell on the floor like he'd been shot with an elephant gun. And Lyndon Arthur had a point taken off for that. I would have gone with 2, actually. I would have taken 2 points off because I thought it was way, way after the bell and it was quite deliberate, even though Cameron made a meal out of it. But there's no doubt the weight of punch was belonging to Arthur. He bloodied Cameron's nose as early as the second or third round. When he landed cleanly, he was forcing Cameron back, making him cover up. Cameron looked like the smaller guy, to be honest with you. But he was having these big flurries, even a bit of shoe shining going on with Cameron when he got up close. And once he closed the distance, Arthur wasn't able to really use that powerful jab. Cameron did land a couple of good left hooks, very good left hooks. And I thought he'd try more of that. But he was firing the punches in bunches thing, and the rounds he won, he probably outworked Arthur, who does have a tendency when people are coming at him to go into his shell a bit, puts the earmuffs on a bit. And having said that, so did Cameron at various points. There's no doubt the physically stronger person was Arthur. The heavier hands belonged to Arthur. And in the 6th round, actually, Cameron was trying to make it scrappy, and he threw a rabbit punch, and Howard Foster took a point off him. I thought it was a little bit harsh. I thought a warning would have been enough because he hadn't been doing it repeatedly. At least I didn't notice that anyway. In fact, he landed another rabbit punch like a round or 2 later, which was more obvious. But they both looked tired by the end of this fight. It was, Ronald McIntosh, who did the commentary, said this is developed into a sort of attritional fight. I think that's the right word to use. It was one of those dour, gruelling contests over 10 rounds. And both guys at the end of it, you had Cameron, his nose was bloodied. I don't think it was broken. It didn't look broken, but there was a lot of blood coming out of it. And Arthur had some slight swelling under the left eye, very slight, but tough fight. I thought the right guy won. Cameron's got nothing to be ashamed of. He's 33 now. He slips to 23 wins with 6 defeats, but all 6 of those defeats have been on points. And he's got a very, very good engine, Cameron, very good engine. He'd be a good sort of domestic level gatekeeper. And who knows, he could, maybe work his way into an English title, maybe even a British title shot. But for Lyndon Arthur, Nissa Sowland was interviewed afterwards, who's the promoter, Wasserman, and he said that the best opponents for Lyndon Arthur are at domestic level, and I agree with that. Boazzi, Dan Aziz, Spider Richards is probably going to come back. You want to see, you do want to see these domestic matchups. I think they're really, really entertaining. But yeah, a win for Arthur. Not particularly convincing, but he got the job done, and a good effort by Liam Cameron. So what did you think? Did you see this fight? It was on Channel 5 on terrestrial telly, which is really good. Free, bit of a freebie. Comments below if you got any. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. And if you enjoyed this video, if you hit the like button, job done. Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will speak to you later. Bye for now.